Greetings and welcome to our reading of the atmosphere. So today our key words for our reading are the word atmosphere. An atmosphere is simply a layer of gases that are surrounding the earth. It's the layer of air that surrounds the earth. And then we have some compounds that we're going to talk about, such as nitrogen, N2, oxygen, O2, and carbon dioxide, the CO2. So these are gases that are in the air, and they're very important for life. The next word, as I mentioned before, is compound. Compound is just something that is made of more than one molecule, or rather more than one atom. When you put two or more atoms together, you get a compound. Our next word is, these words are all words that describe the atmosphere: the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and finally exosphere. So those are the different layers of the atmosphere, and we'll talk more about them in detail in our reading. We also have the word meteor, and our last word is magnetic field. And what I'd suggest is that as we go through this list one more time, please repeat after me as you hear me read this word: atmosphere. Okay, and find the next word and read it and repeat it. Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, compound, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere, meteor, and magnetic field. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now that we have our keywords out of the way, let's go ahead and begin with our reading. Our planet, Earth, is wrapped in layers of air called the atmosphere. Almost all living things on Earth depend on the atmosphere for life. The air we breathe is mostly a compound called nitrogen, N2. Earth's atmosphere is 78% nitrogen. Nitrogen is an important part of strong plant and animal bodies. There is also a lot of oxygen, O2. Oxygen is a gas that almost all living things need to survive. The atmosphere is about 21% oxygen, and there's about 1% argon and an even smaller amount of carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon dioxide is a very important gas because it helps keep the earth warm. Carbon dioxide is also used by plants to make food. Even though there's only 0.038% carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, it is a very important gas for life. There are also even smaller amounts of other gases. All of Earth's gases sit in different layers of the atmosphere. All life and weather happens in the first layer of the atmosphere, the troposphere. The troposphere sits on top of land and water and stretches up to 20 kilometers. Above the troposphere is the stratosphere. In the stratosphere, there's a special layer of gas called the ozone layer. The ozone layer is made up of special kinds of oxygen molecules, or O3. Even though we can't breathe ozone, it's actually harmful to us if we breathe it. Ozone in the stratosphere blocks harmful sunlight. Without the ozone layer, many living things would get skin cancer. The mesosphere sits atop the stratosphere. The mesosphere is important because when space rocks like meteors, asteroids, or comets fall to the Earth, they burn up in the mesosphere. If these things didn't burn up, living things could be harmed. Living things would be harmed. In fact, many scientists think that a comet crashed into Earth 65 million years ago. This comet was too big to burn up in the atmosphere, and when it crashed to Earth, it killed almost all living things. And because of this comet, there are no more dinosaurs. The final two layers of the atmosphere are the thermosphere and the exosphere. The thermosphere is the hottest part of our atmosphere. The temperature in the thermosphere cools down to 200 degrees Celsius at night, but can get as hot as 2,000 degrees Celsius in the daytime. The exosphere sits between our planet and empty space. Our atmosphere spreads into space and eventually gets thinner and thinner until it disappears. Both the thermosphere and exosphere are important because these two layers hold the Earth's magnetic field. The magnetic field is like a giant shield against space radiation. If space radiation came down to Earth, it would turn the inside of our cells into something like scrambled eggs. Our atmosphere is important to life, and each layer of the atmosphere helps life survive on our planet. Without our atmosphere, our planet would be like Venus or Mars, planets without life.